WLNS is here for you with 6 News at Noon.
The snow is coming. It's going to look a lot like this, but there's a big difference this time around that'll make the roads even more treacherous. Of course, this is our top story at noon. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Megan Vaselli. It's what everyone is talking about. Some big changes are moving our way, and we start right now with meteorologist Katie Nicolau. Katie, what is going on?
Well, it's interesting. We had that first sacrificial snow of the year, and that has cooled down the ground. And now we're actually looking at some decent accumulation with this next system. Starts up later this afternoon and into the evening, continues even into Friday, and that explains why we have so many weather alerts out there. Starting with the one in the pink, that's the winter storm warning, the higher upgrade. That's where we could see anywhere from 3 to 9 inches of snow, with the highest totals likely closer to the lakeshore, but does include Berry and Calhoun counties here in mid-Michigan. Farther to the right side there, you have winter weather advisory. Same time frame, goes into effect here 5 p.m. today, goes until 1 a.m. on Friday. This is because of the chance for now 2 to 4 inches of snow. But the big kicker with this is the wind. The wind is actually going to be going across the ground, blowing the snow for one, but also replenishing the Arctic air mass that's moving in. That's going to lead to rapid freezing conditions on the roadways that could become very dangerous very quickly. Now, it's not out there right now. In fact, we just have clouds at the moment, but the snow is just to our northwest, and with as fast as this Arctic front is moving in, that's going to be here before you know it. We're going to keep monitoring this and give you more details of the full forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Katie, thank you. CBS News has learned President-elect Donald Trump could soon bail on his choice for Secretary of Defense. This comes amid sexual misconduct and alcoholism allegations against Pete Hegseth. As Erica Brown reports, the Trump administration now is reportedly considering Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to replace Hegseth as the nominee to run the Pentagon.
Pete Hegseth arrived on Capitol Hill with his wife by his side for more meetings with senators, even as his nomination for defense secretary is running into trouble.
I spoke to the president-elect this morning. He said, keep going, keep fighting. Behind you all the way.
New reports came out this week alleging Hegseth was forced out as head of a veterans nonprofit in 2016 amid allegations of financial mismanagement, sexual misconduct, and repeated intoxication. Allegations his lawyer denied.
This was not something of which we were aware, nor was President Trump aware of them.
The New York Times also published a 2018 email from Hegseth's mother in which she called him an abuser of women and said, "I have no respect for any man that belittles, lies, cheats, sleeps around, and uses women for his own power and ego." Penelope Hegseth told Fox News she retracted that email 2 hours after it was sent and issued a direct appeal to President-elect Trump.
I want to say thank you for your belief in my son. We all believe in him. We really believe that he is not that man he was 7 years ago.
CBS News has learned Trump is considering replacing Hegseth with his former political rival, Ron DeSantis. The Florida governor has echoed some of Hegseth's same criticisms of the Pentagon.
I'm taking out all the social experimentation, all the woke, all the political, ripping it out and throwing it in the trash can.
But for now, Hegseth continues his fight for the nomination. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
And CBS News has learned Mr. Trump was not fully aware of the details surrounding the 2017 sexual assault allegation against Hegseth. Meanwhile, Hegseth insists he did nothing wrong and admits to settling with the person who made those claims to avoid hurting his career. 6 News is closely following a developing story this afternoon. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan, a longtime Democrat, now says he'll run for Michigan governor as an independent in 2026. Many people credit Mayor Duggan for leading Detroit after it emerged from bankruptcy. He announced his intentions formally in a video release this morning. He said, quote, "It's clear to me that there are a lot of people in this country who are tired of both parties and tired of the system." Now, this decision comes at a crossroads for Democrats as Michigan helped propel President-elect Trump to his victory in November. Happening right now at the state capitol, a group of lawmakers and community members are urging Michigan's legislature to pass a series of bills aimed at preventing gun violence. The groups Moms Demand Action and Students Demand Action are joining several state representatives for a press conference. They want Democrats to take action now before they lose the legislative majority. The bills would ban so-called ghost guns, provide more resources to community violence programs, and end the gun industry's special protection from lawsuits. Rachel Ramsey is there, and she will have much more on this story coming up tonight on 6 News. Meanwhile, Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed into law 2 gun safety bills that aim to keep gun violence and intimidation out of the democratic process. The new laws ban open carrying within 100 feet of any location where votes are being cast, processed, or counted. This applies to Election Day and the 40 days leading up to it. However, it does not apply to police officers, and people with a CPL still can concealed carry. Meanwhile, other guns bills are being discussed right now that would require police departments to destroy guns that are forfeited due to a crime or bought back during gun buyback events. Creative technology students from across Michigan are showing off their inventive uses for technology at the state capitol today. It's the 23rd annual Student Technology Showcase. It gives lawmakers a chance to learn about technology in the classroom from students from all around the state. 25 schools are taking part, including Stockbridge and Northwest Community.
The really nice thing about this type of course is that it combines everything. You know, we're so used to, the bell rang, go to first hour, go to English. Bell rings, you go to second hour, you go to math. When you have these classes, which is STEM, a lot of people call them STEM classes, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it takes everything and puts it together. So now you're actually seeing the real reason that we're learning things, and you're putting it to practical use.
AT&T sponsored this event and made a $15,000 contribution to the Michigan Association for Computer Users in Learning. For the 28th straight year, Delhi Township will welcome the holiday season with its annual tree lighting ceremony. The festivities start at 4 o'clock this afternoon at Veterans Memorial Gardens in Holt. The celebration will feature holiday displays, community caroling, a craft show, and of course, a visit from Santa. The Holt Delhi Library turned into a winter wonderland to host an open house tonight from 6 to 7:30, and the Holt Farmers Market on Cedar Street will be open from 4 to 9. This Friday is our 17th annual Day of Giving. It's a holiday tradition for us here at 6 News as we work to make sure people in our region don't go hungry. We're asking you to drop off non-perishable food or even cash right here at our station in Lansing. You can also take donations to the Center for Family Health in Jackson. Here on Saginaw Street, we'll have a big truck out front on Friday, and we are trying to fill that, but money goes a long way too. In fact, the Greater Lansing Food Bank says $60 can feed a family of 4 for 2 weeks. You can also donate through the Scene on 6 section of our website, WLNS.com, and we hope to see you on Friday. And while you're out shopping online or in person, we're asking that you consider picking up something for local kids in need. The annual Highfields Toy Drive is now underway. We're looking for new unwrapped toys, books, and clothes, and we'll take anything for infants through 18-year-olds. You can drop off your donations right here at the WLNS TV studios in Lansing or at participating Ford dealerships. The Toy Drive runs through December 15th.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We aren't seeing snow yet, but we do have wind, and that's jostling around our Capitol camera along with any cars on the roadways. It's because of how large this system is. You can see it goes from Quebec all the way back over towards Minnesota. And this is going to be a problem for us because the large system has a lot of wind with it, and now it's going to have snow. As snow isn't in the area yet, it'll get here a little later on. But you can imagine what it'll be like when the wind gets a hold of it. Wind gusts are already over 30 miles an hour in Adrian and in Lansing, as well as Ionia in the latest scan. And it's going to get even windier by this evening. Now that's with temperatures that are hanging out in the upper 20s to low 30s, so well within the range where we could see snow, and with the wind chill, still feels like it's in the teens out there. It's a cold, blustery day, and then we add in the snow this evening, and that's when it becomes dangerous. It's because of the Arctic air mass that's moving in. It's Arctic, so it means it's going to cool down fast, and that'll allow it to accumulate much faster than the snow that we've seen since as far back as Thanksgiving. Our weather alerts show we have winter weather advisories off towards the east. winter storm warnings to the west. They go into effect here 5 o'clock this evening and last until 1 a.m. Friday. That's the time span we're looking at for this system. Now, the area that's in the purple, the winter weather advisory, it includes places like Lansing and Jackson. We're expecting around 2 to 4 inches of snow in those areas, looking at 3 to 9 possible or higher in those locally larger areas of snow to our west. Speaking of to our west, let's go over towards Minnesota because they have snow squall warnings. That's something we could see here tonight. A snow squall is when you have a really intense band of snow, and it's going to reduce visibility down to 0. With the wind certainly possible, looking at 6, 7 o'clock for that first area, and then it defines itself really well by 8 o'clock. Hopefully most people will be off the roadways by then, but it's not done when that moves through because we have more snow coming in the form of lake effect. Now, all things considered, most spots in mid-Michigan and into the east are going to actually end up with just around that 1 to 2 inch mark, possibly a little higher. And you see over there towards Hastings and Marshall, 3 to 6, possibly higher. Just depends on where the lake effect sets up. Now, the 6-day forecast gives us the chance for scattered snow for Thursday. Then it dries up a little bit. This weekend, not too shabby, and it'll get to above freezing. So the snow that we get today is going to be melting off pretty quickly. Even by Monday, we actually end up seeing some rain showers as temperatures make it to the mid-40s. So it's likely not going to stick around, but it is just reinforcing that winter's here meteorologically.
It absolutely is. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Katie. Coming up, though.